Okay, in this little video I'm just going to show you how to extract some profile data from the terrain model and the slope data that we have on the screen. So you can see I've got a DEM, some slope data, some geomorphological classes, and a hillshade model underneath as well. I'm just going to zoom into an area of interest, so I'm just going to use that. So in here we've clearly got bit of mountain, a drainage basin giving rise to this large well-developed alluvial fan, and then the player below it. And what I'm going to do now is I've got 3D Analyst loaded, which I've loaded using customized toolbars and making sure 3D Analyst is checked. And the layer that I'm going to generate the profile from needs to be displayed in the top, so I'm just going to change that to Digital Elevation Model, and I'm going to use this icon here, which is Interpolate Line. What I'm going to do is you notice that the cursor changes to a cross, is I'm going to essentially digitize a line from the peak, telescope peak, down through the drainage basin and out across the fan and into the player. So I'm just going to follow the line of a drainage basin line that I can see roughly on the map and digitize this line. I'm just doing it very quickly along the bottom of this valley wash, and then out across straight down the fan and out onto the centre of the player. And a double click at the end just signals that you've finished entering the line. And you can see that's added that as a unit to the current map. I can then go to this little icon here, also in 3D Analyst, which says Create Profile Graph. And so there we have a graph of altitude coming from above 2,500 meters to down just below sea level. So there's a nice little graph there, and I can, if I right click on that graph, I can then save it as an ArcGIS graphic, or indeed, probably more importantly, I can export it, and I can export it as a picture. So let's say the JPEG. I can say click save, and I can say DEM profile, let's call it, and so I've now saved that as a small graphic. I can redo the same but for slope, so I would need to go back up to 3D Analyst to make sure slope is the required layer. I'll click on my digitizing tool, Interpolate to Line, and I'm going to roughly follow the same outline as I've just done for the DEM. I've not actually discovered a way of you reusing the same line, which is slightly annoying, because you're always going to end up with subtle differences, but I'm being relatively careful to try and follow roughly the same line. Double click, and again I can just right click on that unit, and I can select selected and then click on the create profile graph, and so there's my slope graph. You see I've not been particularly accurate at following the bottom of the drainage basin. There's a lot of noise in its upper reaches, relatively flat slope at the top there as the mountain levels off. Big peak as it reaches its steepest point. I cut across a couple of interflues, I think, in a couple of spurs in the bottom of the valley, hence this got a jagged thing, but then it clearly levels off, and I've hit a little peak somewhere down in the middle there somewhere. I'm trying to decide where that might be. But these are our slope values and these are our distance values along the bottom, so we can compare those two graphs. And there we have it.